Hi everyone, welcome to SaronSays.com. I am Saron and today we are reading, resourcing, and reviewing the 17th book on my list of the 17 books that I was reading and still am reading in 2017, now 18. I am so excited. Today we are reading, resourcing, and reviewing Your Best Year Yet by Jinny S. The thing that's really awesome about Your Best Year Yet is that it is a book that helps you organize your upcoming year based on the things that you have learned this previous year and key tools that you highlighted that have helped you to overcome your obstacles and achieve your goals. So I first found out about this book because a workshop was taking place at my mom's job, and she told me, Saron, there's this book called Your Best Year Yet, and I want us to participate in this workshop, so read this book. So it was a last minute change on my book list this year. I decided to switch in one of the last books that I was reading for this one because the new year was approaching and I really felt good about 2018. I had a really great feeling in my spirit that this year was going to be a dynamic and powerful year in my life and the lives of the other people that I know. So I said, wow, how can I make this year my best year yet? And then the book ended up in my hands. So the book is broken up into 10 questions that first begin to ask you about your previous year and then end with setting goals for this new year. So with each question, which they're separated into chapters in this book, they basically ask you like, what are you proud of in this past year? What are you not so proud of? How do you connect these things together? And what have you learned, right? And then it breaks down your values to you. It helps you break down all of the different roles that you have in your life and how you prioritize those roles and set goals for those roles. So the woman who wrote the book, she wrote it with her husband. It came out of the United Kingdom in the mid-90s. So the book was originally published in 1994, and she basically did it with her friends for about 10 years prior, where they would get together and they would talk about how this next year was going to be their best year yet based on the last year of their lives. And she turned it into a book and it became a world-renowned phenomenon where people everywhere were saying, wow, this book has changed my perception on the future. This book has allowed me to analyze my life in a way that I hadn't done so before. And due to that, I am able to create the best year yet in my life every single year. And why wouldn't anyone want the next year of their lives to be better than the last, right? Better and better and better. So that's what this book is focusing on. I was really able to maximize on what the questions in the book were asking me when I took the class, the workshop, where we had to discuss in a group setting all of these different questions, right? And we really had to reflect on what it was that we're being asked and to really think critically when looking at our lives about what mistakes were made or what things that we learned and how to apply that. And I found that the three goals that the three tools that I will keep with me in this upcoming year that work with me last year, which are prayer, staying courageous, and having discipline and self-control. And I think that for every person, it's different. For some people, it's about getting more organized. For some people, it's about saving money. And it asks you to focus on yourself as a business owner, as a parent, as a friend, as a community, maybe you as a community member, and what your goals are for each of those roles. And the thing that I like about figuring out the tools that work for those goals is that the tools that work for one goal or for one role kind of work across the board. And once you figure out your style of living and of growing and evolving, once you figure out like, wow, these are the things that work for me, you can apply them to every role in your life. You can apply them to every stage in your journey. But every year you might learn something different. And if you spend a year focusing on those goals, you will naturally incorporate them into the next year, and you'll only become stronger and stronger. You'll only become a smarter, wiser person with every year, thus making each new year your best year yet. So the last chapter of this book asks you, how will you make sure that you will achieve your goals? And this gives the key that setting SMART goals is the way that you will do that. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, obtainable, relevant, and timely goals. So not only what will really count for you, but what can you set a time limit for? What's doable, right? It's asking you to set a goal that you know is 80% achievable. It's better for you to set realistic goals and say, okay, I've accomplished that, than to set very large goals that you most likely won't be able to accomplish in a short amount of time or in a specific amount of time, thus leading to frustration, disappointment, doubt, fear, which are all things that constantly can get in the way of us accomplishing our goals. So once you set those SMART goals, you then can set all of the goals for your year. So it asks you in the end to set your top 10 goals for this year based on what you want the most, based on what will enhance your life in the most ways. And that really just looks like you looking at your life, you looking at what has worked for you, and you saying, these things have worked for me, and now these things will continue to work for me moving forward as long as I set realistic goals and follow through with those goals. So I really love that this book was organized from beginning to end, really just asking you simple questions and not making it difficult for you to realize and to highlight where you can succeed. And in being your best self, you realize that all of your goals are achievable. You just have to break them down into baby steps, and you just have to be smart and energized and have vision for what it is that you want in your life to make each year your best year yet. And that is what I gained from this book, is really just looking at my life and saying, wow, I can do this. I can be great. I can continue to do the things that I want to do because I have now created a system for myself to not only feel my goals and feel my dreams, but to see them and to say, wow, these are the things that I need to do. There's no room for questions. There's no gaps in the middle where it's like, or why, or how. It's like, yeah, the how is you being committed, right? But now you know, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And you can work weekly or monthly or quarterly to reach these goals so that this year can be your best year yet. So most people will take advantage of this book probably in November, December, January. It is February now, but I think it's important to know that really you're just looking at the 12-month span of your life. It doesn't have to be from January to December. It can be whenever you want it to be. You just have to be willing to break up a certain amount of time and say, this is what I want to accomplish in this amount of time. And Your Best Year Yet is an amazing tool to help you do that. So you can find Your Best Year Yet on Amazon, reasonably priced. There's also a website called yourbestyearyet.com, and it allows you to create a profile where you can enter your goals online, match them up to a calendar, and track your process. It lets you break it down by weeks to say, this is what I'm accomplishing this week for what I want to accomplish this entire year. And it's a great tool and complements with the book for you to make sure that you accomplish your goals. So all in all, I definitely feel like Your Best Year Yet was a great tool for me to accomplish my goals for this year, and really allowing me to see all of the areas in my life where I want to give attention to, right? But focusing on the things that I know will lead me to the most success and will bring me the most peace and joy. So definitely check out Your Best Year Yet. Even now, in the middle of the year, whenever it is that you're viewing this, it is a great resource for you to map out your life and to move forward on your journey. Thank you so much for watching, and yes, this is the end of our 17 books that we're reading, reviewing, and resourcing this year. But this, of course, is not the end of my book reviews. If you continue to tune in to my channel or to my website, saronsays.com, you would definitely be able to stay updated on the content that I am reading, resourcing, and reviewing, and how you can get connected with it. Peace and blessings. Have a wonderful, wonderful remainder of the winter into your spring months, and I will talk to you soon.